Back to my channel. Today we're talking about debt. Getting out of debt, staying out of debt, and the dangers of debt. A lot of us right now we see all these low interest rates. We're not used to seeing high interest rates. When I was a kid, my mom bought a house. That was about I don't know 20 years ago or so, and maybe 30 years ago. When her and my father separated. She bought a house for like 150,000 dollars, but the interest rate on that house was 20%. 20% on a $150,000 house. Her mortgage payment was $2,000 per month on a house only worth valued 150. Now you got people living in $1 million homes, paying like 2% for a mortgage, paying less than $1,000 a month for their mortgage. So there's a lot of people right now who are, for the last 10 years, they don't know what it is to have a high interest rate or even pay a interest rate on anything. Everything's low interest rate, no interest rate, everything's low, low, low. So after this pandemic is over, interest rates are going to rise because governments don't make money on low interest rates. Banks don't make no money on low interest rates. So these low interest rates are going to be a thing of the past. And if you're not ready for it, if you're not preparing yourself for it, you're going to be homeless. I know it's a harsh thing to say, but if you look at all the homeless people right now in Canada, a lot of people in the U.S., California, almost every single state in the USA has like tons and tons of homeless people. And those were people who weren't, you know, they weren't saving, they weren't investing their money. They were just spending, thinking it's going to last forever. All it takes is one person getting sick, somebody losing a job, next thing you know, you're homeless. If you look at right now in the U.S. and even in Canada, also in the U.S., people aren't paying their rent, aren't paying their mortgage, they're not paying their rent, even though the government says you can't be kicked out of your place of dwellings. They're not saying you can't be kicked out of it. They're saying while the pandemic's going on right now, you're okay. But when the pandemic's over, you still got to pay your rent and your mortgage in full. There won't be any monthly payments when that happens. When they end the free rent, free mortgage, then everything's paid up in full, one lump sum. So if you haven't been saving your money over those 8, 9, 10 months or a year that you've been living rent free, you're gonna be kicked out of the house, homeless. And then in America, it's even worse because in America, if you get kicked out of your house, you get bad credit, and if you get bad credit in America, you can't rent anywhere else again. Your credit's screwed. You can't. No one's gonna rent you anything. No landlord's gonna take you on board. So if you can't rent anywhere, you've got no money. What's the next best option? Homelessness. You're on the streets. You look in America right now, in some of the wealthiest cities in the U.S., in the world, people are living on the streets, living in their cars, whole families living in their cars. They weren't taking the steps to plan ahead. They weren't investing. Most of us right now, we sacrifice our future for today. We get paid today, we get investments today, we're getting money today. We don't plan for the future. All we're planning for is today. What do I want today? I want a new car today. I want a new house today. I want new clothes today. Everything's today, today, today. No one's thinking about tomorrow, tomorrow, tomorrow. And you find out when you have money, you have all the friends in the world. When you have money and means, people love you. They're your best friends. You call them anytime. They're there for you. Once that money goes away and you need them for something now, those phone calls won't be answered. People ain't gonna start lending you money, giving you money when they know you have no money. It's the same thing with banks. Banks will lend you money when they think you have money or you don't need money, so you can pay them back. Same thing with friends. Friends will be there for you when you have things. When those things disappear, those friends will disappear along with your money. So you gotta prepare yourself, plan for the future. Live below your means. People say, "Oh, I don't make enough to save." That's bullshit. If you're making any kind of money, if you're living now, you're paying your rent, live below your means. If you're making $1,000 a week, live on $800 a week, $700 a week. There's ways you can cut back, but nobody wants to sacrifice anything. Everybody wants to, the other person to sacrifice, but we all have to sacrifice. Anyone you see, I read a stat today that 82% of all millionaires made their money from scratch, meaning that they grew up poor. They didn't grow up with wealthy parents who left them an inheritance. So 82% of all the millionaires in North America right now made their own money from scratch. That means anybody can do it. You just got to be focused, have a plan, idea, something that somebody wants. You got to sell a product, an idea, you know, and hard work. You know, you find nowadays people are afraid of hard work. You know, 20, 30, 40 years ago, back in the old days, people all they knew was hard work. You know, if you wanted anything, you had to work hard for it. You know, if you wanted a car, you wanted a house, you had to work hard for it. No one's giving it to you. Nowadays, everyone expects something for free. Everyone expects something for nothing. You know, they want everything to be given to them. They want everything easy. You know, so you gotta take a charge of your life. You know, do what you need to do to secure your future. Don't think about today. Think about tomorrow. It's better to, you know. I heard a saying a long time ago. You know, I work. I was trying to remember it here now. You know, it's best to work hard when you're young, so you don't have to when you're old. You know, so work hard when you're young, when you're able to. Then you're old. When you get old, you know, everyone gets old, everyone dies. So, you know, people are thinking, oh, they're working now, they're spending all their money, they're doing all these things. You don't expect taking a step for the future and plan for the future, you know, for a rainy day, you know. So, that's it for now. Take care. God bless.